We back, yo. The Black Lunch Break is back. It's Thursday, October 22nd, man. This is 1 o'clock on the East Coast. We're at 12 or noon, right? Over in Central Time. And if you're on the West Coast, for all our West Coast folks, it should be 10 a.m. your time. So welcome everybody to the Black Lunch Break, man. It's your boy Rillo in the building. Once again, happy to break bread with the crew, man. Secret was good, sis.
Happy to be here always. Glad DFurg is up hitting here with us, man. We're about to have a great show.
It's gonna be great, man. Thank y'all for having me. This is amazing. This is black excellence on in real life.
In real
Real
life.
life, bro.
Not no play, not no play shit. This is real. But no, we got a few things to talk about with y'all today before we bring DFurg on. So, but DFurg is also going to be right there with us in the conversation. Be able to chime in. Well, first thing you see on your screen right now, we're talking about ending SARS. Obviously, a lot going on in Nigeria. People are pouring into the streets, dealing with a lot of the same things in terms of police brutality. If you see what SARS stands for, it's Special Anti-Robbery Squad, right? And this started in 1992, but it's been an issue, right? Because they've been using this as a way to really be over hostile, over criminalized, and really extort Nigerians in Lagos and so on and so forth. And so anyway, so we'll get into that. Obviously, the election right now is 12 days away, folks. So look, man, if you haven't made a plan to vote, if you're not registered to vote, make sure you're doing so, man. Like, make a plan, right? Devote some time like you devote to anything, making sure that you have a plan to vote. I said this again, I'm gonna say it now. This is the most important election of our lifetime. DFurg, I know you're shaking your head over that seat. You're shaking your head. I think that we all know what's really being in front of us, right? And what
Mhm.
lies ahead. And so it's like we get to really choose, right? Frantz Fanon has some kind of quote. I think it comes from Russia to the Earth. And it goes, and I may be summarizing or paraphrasing a little bit, but each generation has its mission, right? And we can either fulfill that or betray it in relative opacity. And we are literally in that moment where our mission, right? Maybe part of our mission, not our sole mission, but part of our mission is to like what? Make sure that we are free from tyranny, dictatorships, and leaders like a Trump that are currently occupying the Oval Office of the White House, right? So we got to get these folks out, send them on back into their Florida homes, where the hell they may be at in Indiana, and so we can get back to more normalcy, not just in America but on the world stage. And so
All
that's
facts, bro.
yeah. So look, y'all. Last. We got a couple more things we're gonna talk to you about. Look, so in San Francisco. I'm sorry, Southwest returns or whatever you want to say. Southwest returns to Jackson. This is huge. When I was in school, right, in law school at Mississippi College down in Jackson, I remember, I think it was my last year, see, I think in 2016 or something like that, or 15, they actually got rid of Southwest. And it was a big deal. Everybody's like, yo, like, because everybody was flying out Southwest and it's one of the
It's
more affordable flights.
crazy how they took it from us. Like the whole city was like in an uproar. Even people that don't even fly was in an uproar. That's how big of a deal it was. So when they took it into it was I think it was 2014 to be exact. When they took
14.
it,
Okay.
yeah, it made it seem just like, it made it seem like Jackson was taken off of the map, for a lack of better words. It just felt
Yeah.
like a hell of a depreciation for the city of Jackson. So the press release was released earlier this morning. Shout out to El Cherie Dean, because she's the one that dropped that press release. You guys probably can't see it, but you can check it out if you go to the website for Jackson MAA. And on this press release, they're just announcing the news about it returning to the city. And I think a lot of people are trying to allude it to Deion Sanders arriving to the city. I think that
Hell
may have
yeah.
something to do with it as well. And I
But
think that's
also
dope.
And also, reason why Southwest left because the city of Jackson, right? And people gotta understand this, right? The city of Jackson, obviously the capital of Mississippi. Phil
Mhm.
Bryant, while in office, was really one of the big drivers and movers in the Mississippi State Legislature, which is ran by Republicans, right? So, a Republican state that what they want to do is put a stranglehold on the Jackson airport, right? And so that would have took power away from Jackson, and so they really started siphoning off resources like Southwest. They didn't want to actually go into make deals, and so part of that was really an effort and negotiation efforts or lack thereof to really bring in the business, right? It was to actually siphon resources from the city of Jackson because it is black owned, right? Pretty much black centered. The culture of Jackson is super black, and it has been since it's been there, right? And so you understand that it was more politics driven on why Southwest really left Jackson to begin with. But now that Jackson is bringing down prime time back there, so Jackson now has Southwest
They
back into the
game
mix.
now. They
Yeah, man.
game.
it's all about
Yeah,
money. It's been about
everything
money.
politics,
Everything politics,
everything.
man. That's a
That
little
shit is
background story
wild.
on that.
That
Yeah,
I
is
mean,
background
crazy.
story.
I am looking forward to the people that probably have not flown into Jackson due to this. I'm looking forward to that new stream of revenue that's gonna come through to the city because I mean the shit is looking up for Jackson everywhere, every corner. This shit is beautiful.
I know, man, and as somebody that like, I'm from New Orleans, but I always feel a certain level of connection to Jackson because like that's how I really got started in politics, advocacy, activism. Like I felt like it was always in my heart. But that spirit of Mississippi, man, that goes back all the way to the 60s and 40s and 30s and 20s and before, you know what I'm saying, and before during the years of Reconstruction and during the enslavement of our people. Like I feel like those were things that were like literally all that like energy. I'm not saying that it wasn't part of when I was in New Orleans, but when you're a young boy, you don't really understand exactly like what that means for you. But when as me coming more to our age and being a real man and trying to figure out what that meant for me and my
Mhm.
community, that became more of a thing. And it just so happened it started right in Mississippi. And a lot of folks can trace back their activism and advocacy and love for culture right in Mississippi. So that's why I always feel like Jackson is like near and dear to me. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, Ferg, you from Atlanta, correct?
I'm not. My family is, but like I've been here since I used to come back and forth from New York to here all the time. So
Okay.
I'm pretty much I'm
Do you
here.
visit? Do you ever visit Mississippi?
I've been a couple times. I think I had a show in Mississippi one time.
Well, shit, we expect you to hit Mississippi a little bit more now that Southwest is on that bucket list now, for sure.
Oh, what? Why would I not? What black people. I
Jack
love us.
Jackson loves you for sure.
And we about to
I'm gonna come down there. I'm gonna see what y'all talking about. I know y'all. I know it's a good time because I've been there. Them holes in y'all street is crazy though.
Hey,
oh,
but
you talking
they getting
about
patched up.
yo, honestly, you know what's crazy about them hoes? Like when I was so I had a crib right off Jefferson on Fortification in Jackson, right? It was
Hmm.
between State Street
Bellhaven
and Jefferson,
District.
right? Bellhaven, that Fortification little area, right? They had a massive hole. It was so damn big, people started planting flowers in the hole because they were just like they didn't want to come clean it up. Dog, literally people had planted a garden in the hole just so
That's
people
not
wouldn't like
good.
roll. Dog, it was like, bruh, it was literally dog flowers. It was like somebody planted a big ass sunflower one time, dog, in the middle of the street. It was just one big ass long sunflower in the middle of
That's
the
funny.
street, bruh. So like, dog, like I just feel like people get real creative when they trying to tell the city, like, dog, y'all just not doing what y'all need to do. And so
Yeah.
that shit was
Yo,
hilarious,
and
dog.
we love this shit, so we gonna make this ugly shit beautiful.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
you like you might as well.
You think they was growing vegetables? Like, let me go ahead and pick me some cucumbers and tomatoes out of this hole.
Shit, you might as well. Shit.
I was joked out too, bro. I literally was pulling out my driveway. I said, I know these folk around here didn't plant no damn flower right here in the middle of the street. I
Hey,
said, but people were asking because they had like the operate. They had literally had a thing in Jackson. I don't know if it's still there. Called Operation Pothole or something like that.
Yes,
Operation
I believe I
Pothole is
remember that.
you can literally
that's a
get on
thing.
your phone. You could get on your phone or whatever, call the city, text the city, email the city, and be like, "Yo, I got a pothole. Come through and fix my pothole." Right, and so that was really
Did that
the
work?
back, bro. No, so they'll be driving
He
around. You'll see
said
a dump
no.
truck. You'll see it. No, because there was so many. Dog, I'll be real with you, like because the west side of Jackson was crazy. It was nuts, right? And then so like they were trying to figure out the west side of Jackson, also around like the more downtown area. Jackson's relatively a small city. So like when you say downtown, I mean you could throw a rock and hit the west side of Jackson from downtown, right? That ain't nothing but like underneath the bridge, and then boom, you on the west side of Jackson. So like
Uh,
so for me, it was like trying to like them. I felt like it was them trying to figure out what was really like what was really going on, like and how can they really be attentive to all like the residents' needs. But bro, like it's still bad. I mean, honestly, it's still bad. It's not like it's like New Orleans too, though. New Orleans shit is bad too, man.
oh yeah,
DC
New
shit is
Orleans.
bad. New Orleans shit is
Shit,
bad, bro.
everywhere bad, but yeah, everywhere bad if you look at it. But
Nah, but
that's
New Orleans shit is
crazy.
bad, dog. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I thought that's why for me, I felt right at home in Jackson. I was like, oh, the streets fucked up too. That's cool. Like I
Oh
guess
Okay, a
yeah,
second home.
everywhere fucked up. Like New Orleans messed up, Jackson messed
yeah.
up.
Hey, so you from New Orleans? So man, as soon as it rained for like 30 seconds, man, it started flooding, bro. I
Oh
have
man, you
never
better
been to a
get your
place like that.
get your
Like,
sandbags out, boy. Like my mama, dog. Like, hey, like real talk, like we used to have to, like I remember coming home in the afternoon and like my mom's street was like kind of like, you know, like this or whatever. And so like, but the street went like, so basically in front of your crib, like if it rained, like you said, for like, let it rain for 30 minutes or more, you're gonna have about this much water in front of your
Yeah,
crib on a regular day. Like regular day.
that's
So
wild.
so like people in New Orleans, they're pissed because it's like for so many years, and we get it. We understand like everybody like below sea level, and we understand that, you know, the issues with that. But dog, I was trying to figure out. I was like people was like, what can we do better in New Orleans? And like they were trying to tell us like, dog, like the civil engineers and put some of the best pumping systems in there. We just can't pump the water. Like literally, this
Out fast enough.
can't pump it fast enough. It just can't.
Oh, okay,
So
that's why. That
bro,
makes sense.
you be having cars getting stuck. They be having like underpasses, like over like,
Yeah,
bro,
hell yeah.
cars, like you be
That's
thinking
crazy.
because you don't know how deep it is. So you know, you be trying to like, you know, I'm about to roll through there and like, see if I'm gonna make it home. And your goofy ass right there stuck underneath the
Yo,
overpass,
goofy
Blood
ass.
your
right
engine.
there. Hell yeah. Thinking you about to roll through. Like you ain't going nowhere, buddy. Like
That,
straight up.
how many times? Like,
Okay.
so
Go
that's
ahead.
wild, bro. People be hitting them holes. They grandmama teeth be falling out a little bit. That's crazy, man. I don't know how you do that. And like, I went to Jacksonville. I was there once, and I saw the holes, and I felt like I was like zipping it. I was like, yo, why they so big? That's the first thing I saw, and then that the food was dope and the scenery.
Oh yeah, the food, man. You know, that's part of it. I feel like it's give and take, man. Like with a city like that, you gotta come there really like expectations low on like, hey, bro,
What?
like I feel like I'm not saying like on the street, like you know, like dog, New Orleans is leaps and bounds better on the street side than it used to be. Even down, even as we call it the central business district, not downtown, because we got uptown and downtown. But
Yeah,
like even the CBD, bro, like is leaps and bounds better than it used to be, dog. Like it used to be bad. Canal Street was bad. It wasn't paid for a long time. The whole NO was
yeah.
just a trap. Like
Even the
now,
central
like
ones, even the central
dog,
ones.
bro, the whole city, dog. That's why I be talking about. People be like, man, like what part of the city you from? I'm like, it don't really matter where you from in New Orleans. Like the
You
whole
there?
city a trap, dog. Like you there, bro. Like you could be on your street could
The
be
trap.
popping, but around the corner, they jacking, stealing, like robbing, whatever. Like it's just like, but that's just kind of how New Orleans is. Like it was never. I don't think that was a city that really divide classes. It was really a city about the community. And that's just how. And also, it was like one of the blackest cities in the nation, right? For a long time, it still is. And
Right,
so it's
right.
like, eh, I mean, like it. Think about it, dog. Like back in the day, the bourgeois blacks that just ended up like moving in their one little street. They had their little street, but
Yeah,
you wasn't gonna have a whole damn city of that, man. Like,
you
no,
wasn't.
dog. So, and we also had too many projects, bro. We had what? You got to think every ward had a project. So the third ward, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth, the 10th, the 12th, the 17th, the 15th. So you talking about the night, like dog, every project had a major like project development. So you talking about bricks, right? And you got people living in bricks and right around those neighborhoods, dog. Right where I lived at in the 7th ward, bro, there's a street where Mark Morial, right, the mayor, right, of New Orleans was living. And right off that street, off like this, like right by the bayou, but 2 blocks away is the St. Bernard projects in the 7th ward where I grew up at. So it's like there ain't no really way of escaping. Like there's no,
You was.
yeah, every ward, dog. Hey, y'all better represent, dog. Uptown. We
Shout
can
out
go
to the
through.
wards.
We can go through the whole
I didn't know how
structure.
many it was. I thought it was like, dang, what number did he stop at? Because that's a
Uh,
lot
Hey,
of
yeah,
that was my
words.
question. How many wards are they, nigga?
I ain't gonna lie
It's
though. I think there's really only like 17. I don't really know how many wars, to be honest with you. I just know the wars that really make sense for me. In terms
the
of
ones
like
you've been to.
the ones I know, because like I think growing up, I think somebody mentioned that maybe it might have been a 19th war, but that could have been a damn lie. All I know is the highest, the 17th, I ever really, really, really like
Okay.
heard and knew it existed. I don't think it's anything beyond the 17th though.
I gotta go back and listen to old Cash Money records and see what numbers they stop at.
Yeah, that's true.
I
That's
know
true.
they be saying them in them songs. I gotta catch one.
Nah, no, it's the hot boys and them dudes from everybody from the 17th, the 3rd, and the 7th. So Manny Fresh is the only person from downtown. Everybody else is from uptown.
Okay,
Everybody.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
So you didn't really Manny Fresh. I don't know how they really
You
plug
really
in with
from New
Manny.
Orleans if you know it like
Yeah,
that
she
for real.
know
Because
that.
I
I'm
didn't
like,
I
how
didn't
you
know
know
that
that?
for
Yeah,
real.
no, no,
You
no.
just schooled me.
And really a background. If y'all really want to know some, I ain't gonna go into it. I've been talking too much, man. But they
Nah.
gotta, dog. They got people don't know. There's so much about like the whole Hot Boy story, like Cash Money Records, that people don't even know about, man. Because like you talking about like the early '90s. Them dudes really was hitting the streets, right? Like '91, like for real, like this
They was
way
out
back in
here.
the day. And then like so really by the time everybody seen Cash Money and even and No Limit come of age and come into their own, like mid '90s, late '90s and stuff like that, them dudes really been out here
For
grinding
like
on the
10
for
years.
damn near 10 years. And
Yeah.
then remember, see where that conversation about that 10-year mark, where usually you gotta
Yeah,
have 10 years in the game
you got to.
before you
Not
really like
now.
take up. Not
Not
now,
now.
maybe, yeah, but back in the day, you needed a solid 8 to 10 years before you
But
really got
even
some
though if it's
traction.
not now, if you had that microwavable shit, it's not gonna
It's
last that long
it's
though.
gonna be bad. Yeah. Anything that happened real fast,
you
like,
you
cause
gonna you gonna go up high and you gonna
hey,
crash even harder, dog. For
I done
real.
seen so many social media people be super duper big. You be like, who are they? And then you be like, you go to see them live. You be like, oh, that's why. Oh, it's not. It's not what
You
you thought it's
not,
gonna be.
it doesn't be that.
Microwavable.
Yeah,
Yo,
man. You
and
gotta
I
slow
like,
cook it like a crock pot.
and that's the ones that last the longest, though. You know what I'm saying? Because that flavor locked in. You know exactly what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You
In
know,
it.
build up your base. You know what I mean? I think that's what it's
Exactly.
about. And you know exactly, like at the end of the day, like this one I'm feeding with this crock pot worth of food. Like we just blow up, you really don't even know why you even blew up. You just like,
Not
damn,
at all.
Bruh, and you don't know
I
what
just
the
blew up.
fuck to do either. You just be like, okay,
I'm glad that ain't
what I
never
do
happened to
now?
me. I can only imagine that, like, how crazy you feel because you like, man, all this that happened. You don't even know what to do with, like, you don't even know what skill you have, to be
That's
honest.
facts. Yeah,
And
yeah, bro.
that's the scariest thing about like fast celebrity life. Like I would not dare wish that upon anything because once you do get there, do you know how many opportunities you're gonna pass because you don't really know how to do shit,
At
nigga?
all.
Folks be wanting to go viral so bad, but listen, you
I
not
don't, man.
ready.
I'm in Atlanta and I'm not even viral, but people, like, your phone, everybody sees you, and it's weird even when people come up to you if you eating, they're like, hey man, I saw you on my phone today. It's like, dang, that's weird. I'm
That's
eating.
weird,
Hey
dog.
man,
That's
I saw you on my phone today.
that's
Yeah, like,
weird,
it's
dog.
weird.
Siki,
I
you ever
had
had somebody roll up on you like that?
I had
I
a white
have.
girl. I had a white girl come up to me and was like, I know who you are. You're Desi Banks. I was like, nah.
Oh,
I was like, he
hey
don't even
yo,
got a beard. He just
Desi,
black.
Oh
dog,
shit.
Desi Banks is funny though. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. I think it's hilarious, bro.
I was
But
like, we don't even look the same
I ain't gonna lie,
at
but y'all
all.
don't look alike though. I ain't gonna lie. That's
Y'all
why like, you said
don't
Desi Banks. I was like,
at
nah,
all.
dog. Like, I mean, I get the beard aspect
Was
of
that
it, but
person
that,
white?
It was a
yeah,
white
yeah.
girl. Yeah,
Okay,
she
okay.
had on her Caucasian eyes. So
Oh,
she
that
just
day.
saw that we was black, and oh my God, I know a black guy.
I know exactly who you are. You're that
And
Desi Banks guy.
she did the
You're
face
that
like that
guy.
too.
Oh yeah, I know. You're that.
She snapped
That's
and
you.
everything.
I know. Wait.
Hurt her
Don't
feelings.
tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. You're that.
That's like what you did.
Desi
Uh.
Banks.
Desi Banks. That's it. That's it. You like.
And she was my server. And I was like, nope.
And she was like, "Damn, I did it. I just did it. I just did it. I did it. What everybody be telling me not to do. I
Yep.
just did it. Damn.
Definitely
Damn.
got a couple of things taken off that menu when I off the
What
first day.
what should have happened was if she really wanted to just do it right. Did anybody ever tell you you look like the guy Desi Banks? And then you could have been like
Play it
politely,
safe,
you could have been
man.
like,
That's
nah, but I'm
facts.
actually this person. Like, oh, okay, cool, that's
Facts.
what's up. And then you could have, if you really was Desi Banks, let's say you were, right? Then it could have been like, oh, well, actually, that's crazy because I am Desi Banks, and like,
Then you
boom, you
could have
had
got free food for zero. But the
for
crazy thing
zero.
is, if we took a picture, it'd be like, nah, I ain't taking pictures because she's gonna mess around and tag Desi. But that's not me.
and end
Hell
up on
no,
Shade
man.
Room for some shit talking about.
I hope that don't happen to me, man. I be looking at the shade room like I don't want to be here. I hate it there. I hate it there. I cannot be there.
Our
I just couldn't
sentiments are
do it.
the same.
Nah, yeah, I would definitely rather like stay off the shade room. Even World Star too though, man. I feel like a lot of shit to be up
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
man. Just be a
It's
little
it's it's
too,
a
little
different
too.
it's a different platform that I think if you in a certain representation that you would rather not reach that
Yeah,
platform
yeah.
for
I
sure.
think.
That's like the EBT of the internet. Everybody that got Section 8, they agree with everything on World Star.
Yo,
Shit.
yo, I ain't gonna lie, dog. I never really heard it called that, but now I'm gonna start saying that. Like, yo,
Oh,
that's the
that's legit.
It
section
That's
is,
of
legit
the
bro.
as
internet,
fuck.
dog.
Cause it ain't nothing but white kids watching it. That's really who run the internet. White kids that be bored at home with their big houses. They just be wanting to look at black people all day. That's what
Yep.
happened during the corona.
Damn, that's interesting. You say
I've
that.
never seen so many white people up in arms to see niggas. Like we wasn't on TV. Wasn't on sports. White people was worried. Look at how
You
they got
right.
basketball on. Look how they got basketball on. They was so excited to see LeBron James hairline. They was ready for that.
They
Whatever,
need it.
whatever he got left, man. I think. Speaking of which, though, I think LeBron, man. I love LeBron, but LeBron at some point gotta let that shit go, man. I don't know what. I
What you
feel
talking
like
about? His
I feel like
I,
hairline?
there should be a bet
I don't
right
know what
now.
be going on.
There
What are
should
you
be a
talking
bet,
about?
or
His
over under on what age LeBron actually shaves it off and goes bald. Dog. I feel
hey,
like it could be. I'm gonna give
Oh
40.
my god.
I want him to get a hairpiece that's cornrows. I want him to come out next season with cornrows, hairpiece, and win
Speaking
another
of
chip.
hair pieces, y'all
Did
seen
y'all?
that video, right? Of the dude getting the hair piece on
His
his
beard?
beard?
Dog, his
Yes.
beard look like yours, bro. Like I'm not saying that yours
Hey,
is, like
y'all keep
I'm
talking. I
saying
gotta find this video. I gotta
the
play it.
beard, bro.
Bruh,
The dude,
no.
the dude, the dude. Like, okay, so he went in there, right? And they clean shave, right? But so he had like a lot of hair on his goatee, right? So let the goatee. They trimmed it up, boom, lined them up, and then what they did is they like applied it in different layers, bro. Like dude had took like a little, like he took like a
No
chia pet,
shit.
like and dyed it black, right? And just started like boom, putting on his face, right? And then putting glue and everything. And it was death. Shaved it up, shaped it up, boom, 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 lined it up, raising them down, dog. I'm talking about like a full-fledged, like, and then what's crazy is put the whatever was like, you see how mine kind of spacey right here, whatever like
Yeah.
that, filled it in, right? So he had a real,
Nope.
like how yours look, like the real, like, and then like dude walked out there with a full fucking beard, bro. It was crazy. I was like, damn,
I
dog.
just
Like,
want to know what happens when the beard gets slippery and it kind of come off. Like I want to see what it look like. Like what if you in the middle of having sex and you go down on your lady and
damn.
your beard kind of fall off in her
Oh my
coochie? What you gonna
god.
do?
That shit is crazy.
And you
I
know she
can't
gonna
find
tell
this
her
video.
homegirl. She gonna tell her homegirl, girl, his beard hair and fell in my coochie hair.
Oh shit.
Wait, buddy said, LeBron she shaves in the off season. So he lets it go and then he goes back and put plug. Why you just don't
That
let it go?
that's a real LeBron fan. Don't nobody know that.
I ain't know that. I thought
Nobody know
LeBron
that.
was just like all year round, like just like I'm
Hey man,
I'm gonna let it
uh,
go. Like,
I'm here for him to get the braids. I'm here for braids because we all
The
know hey,
braids?
if he get
it,
braids, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
dog,
I want to see it.
that dude gonna look crazy, man. That dude gonna
No, he
look.
not, man. He gonna
I'm
be out here
here for
chilling.
all bald. Fuck no, no, fuck
I'm here
no to the
for it.
braids.
I'm here for him to get braids. I want to see it because if he win another
Nigga,
chip with the
you
braids,
trying to make a whole joke out of this shit. I
I'm
see
That's
what
not.
what
you
it
But I want
is.
to
doing.
see
I
it.
see
I
you.
want to see it though.
He ain't gonna look like Shumpert and Iverson, though. Like it's gonna look bad. Like I don't think it's gonna look bad. Like it's not gonna look good. And look, LeBron, bro, I'm a fan, man. So I'm really just speaking on from a fan level. Is I don't know. DFurg trying to lead that man down a path of destruction, man. He gonna look.
Yes.
What?
I love it. I love it.
He can do no wrong, bro. He can do no wrong. You gotta have
Dog,
timeouts from the hey, timeout. Hey, get your wig right, my boy. Put your headband on.
get your wig right. Nah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. Speaking of which, though, how y'all feel about LeBron with the new Hummer deal, right? We know that in '03. He was under investigation, right? And his mama was for improper benefits, dealing
I
with
do remember that.
receiving it. $50,000 for it went out. It was proven that she took a $50,000 loan out for her son. Now, some people have come out and said that was dumb to begin with. I seen one comment underneath our article that came out, and one person was like, yeah, what are we teaching our people? That we want to still sensationalize wealth and we don't want to go after things. I think it was just a good way to kind of turn on his head and like come full circle in your career. Like, look, the same things y'all try to get me on. Now I'm the face of Hummer, and then whatever. So I don't know how y'all feel about the new deal though.
I'm here
I
for
think
it.
it's
Them people
beautiful.
for them, and them people that was over here chastising them can eat a bag of baby dicks. So that's where I stay with it. Eat a bag of kosher baby dicks. And
Cause I just feel like, duh, like what I mean, you know what's crazy is that the people that be saying that, it's like, you know how Drake said, like people say, oh, I think it was Ye that said that. I know we're not quoting Ye anymore, but people say like having money is not everything, but having it is, like whatever like that. Or Drake said something like along those lines too though. It's like people always say like money ain't everything. No, it's not everything. I was like, but who are you to tell somebody, a black man who worked his ass off, right? And his mother, and also who are you to say that like that his mother who wanted to give something to a child and be like, I know my child about to be whatever. So imagine what, see, I think it's a lesson to be learned about going broke on your children, like this ultra
Right.
support. Like, dog, if people want to celebrate their kids and want to take out a bag alone and say, here go 50 grand for
By
my
all
child, like
means.
whatever that looks for your child, stop trying to police people and tell people how they gonna be. Like, stop doing that shit.
I'm
Stop
with it.
doing
If
that.
you got the means to pay
Because
it back off now, like if you got the
and she
means to pay it
saw
off,
the potential in her son. Like, let's be
exactly.
real. Like 50 G's compared to what he is worth right now,
That's
that
a
was
penny.
nothing.
That's
That's a
nothing.
penny. Like, I feel like she made a major move. She saw an opportunity. She went for it and she was just like, yo, we about to flip this into some legendary shit. We about to be
Dog,
good for some generations. I'm
For a
glad
lot
I'm
of
gonna take
generations.
this. For real. That
that's
wasn't no
why it goes
L
back
that she
to
took.
trust black women. Trust black women. They
Trust
be knowing. Y'all be
us.
Y'all
knowing.
do.
Y'all be knowing. Now, if it was like if a dad did it, I don't know. Maybe that shit would have been done. But
Hell no,
but
we don't
the
trust dads. I don't be
yeah,
trusting dads.
but hey, the mama's like, look, dog, I know my damn child, right? And I know that my child deserves this. I know that he's gonna be whatever he's gonna be. And even if he wasn't no star athlete, I'm pretty sure that
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's like mental on the way he just approaches life, I believe he would have been successful anyway, right? Because
Yeah.
people think that like because you got money, that's some type of like supplement for hard work. Like, oh well, like nah, bro, like your passion,
Privileges.
that dog, when you got that dog that's in here,
Yeah, when you got that single mother
okay,
hooping strength in
It's
you,
OV, dog.
bro,
It's OV. You can't you
when you don't
can't
know,
compete with that.
you
you
can't
can't. When you
compete
don't
with
know,
that dog.
you
Look,
can't. It's hard, bro. Especially like when you come from a single parent household, you seen the struggle. You can't unsee that. You can't. That's
facts,
in your
dog.
system.
Impossible.
And Jamia said, ain't nothing but a parent plus loan. Look, she was gonna take that money out anyway. Her son, she knew her son was already gonna go to the league. And dog, this
That's
man, bro,
right.
was the last
That's
first
Parent
round
right.
plus
pick, right?
loan.
Parent plus loan, dog. Like, stop playing, man. Like, look, it's like we gotta understand,
Hell
man. Look,
yeah.
investments show up in different ways, and I feel like our kids don't receive enough support. It's like I'm like a lot of times we not even look at the fact that she had the ability to take out a $50,000 loan. Most black folk, poor
That
folk,
part.
economically
That
Can't even
part.
get.
insecure folk can't even take out a $50,000 loan.
Come
So the
on
fact
now.
that she had the privilege and opportunity to do that, I think that it's within her right as a
Yeah.
human being to go, you know what, dog? I'm gonna do that for my son because I know my mom made, and I know anybody here, and I know my mother's speaking for myself, and my father took out many a loans and did help, and oh, I'm sorry, they made many a sacrifices, but I had
Yeah.
to take out my own loans.
True.
They didn't
Likewise.
have
At
the
all.
credit to be like, let me co-sign. I had to go figure out who was gonna do this and who was gonna do that. So the fact that LeBron had a mother that was
That
gonna
could do
allow him
that.
to come on, man, come
Credit
on.
to
Nowadays,
her. Because
nowadays
had
it's
she not
different.
done that, what would have happened? Would he have
That
had a harder climb up that hill? Probably
yeah.
so.
I mean,
No,
I don't know about a harder climb, but I
not
know
now.
the look would
Well,
have
his
been
his
different. You got
talent his
LeBron
talent
James
is
rolling up in
True.
a
undeniable. His talent is undeniable. I can't take that away from him.
What
But
if
I
it's
feel
like
like, go ahead.
like what if like all right? So what if it's a basketball player today who don't have the money and their mama can't get the loan. I think OnlyFans is the only way to go to get this money, y'all.
I think you're so
Dog,
fucking right.
I'm finna be on
so I'm not even
OnlyFans.
gonna spray my homeboy, but I'm gonna just say this. I ain't
Oh,
gonna say his name.
it's bank over there.
But he got an
What?
OnlyFans page, and I texted him the other day. I was like, bro, what you doing on your OnlyFans page? He was like, dog, to be real with you, I don't really do anything, but they gotta pay to get in there. So it's really just me talking shit. It's like,
Yeah,
but he set up an OnlyFans page. People thinking that he about to see. People think OnlyFans is only for some like the ratchet or like triple
yeah,
X type deal.
Yeah.
But he really on there giving real messages to people, and then
that's
people either
dope.
stay subscribed and like doing it, but he got an OnlyFans page, and people now are subscribing because they think that he's about to be doing something sexual or
Yeah,
like whatever lewd kind of behavior, whatever like that. When it's like he up
that's
there
what I
just like
thought.
speaking to the people. It's
Hey,
dope.
Wow.
look, I'm about to get
That's super dope.
on, have my nipples out for people, aunties. It's the holiday season. Auntie, you about to see me. I'm gonna be doing chores naked. You see me clean these
Mm-mm.
gutters. Drop me some
Uh-uh.
money.
He said,
I'm
drop
here
my
for that.
coins, man.
Yeah, you got
What's
to,
up,
man.
C? What's up, C?
We at the 30-minute mark, so we're gonna get into some Saging with Sika real quick before we get into the full interview with
Saging.
DFurg. So the question that a lot of people have been asking recently is what the fuck is Mercury retrograde? So if you see
Oh,
right here on your screen,
I know what it
Very
is.
important. My lady been talking about this all the time this past week. That we in Mercury retrograde, why everything is messed up right now. So I'm glad we
listen,
get into this right
yes,
here.
we are
Mm-hmm.
in Mercury retrograde and we will be in retrograde until election day. How coincidental is that? I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
but it's hella crazy. It happens 3 times a year. We're in the very last phase of it. So let me show you exactly what you need to be preparing for. This is what you need to focus on, and this is exactly what you need to avoid. I'm not going to read everything, but I'm going to read just a few of them. So let's see. Let's focus on being flexible, especially when traveling. Double check all details. Creativity, paint, draw, dance, read, write, make music.
Mm-hmm.
Accepting that there may be frustrations, redos, delays, miscommunications, and meltdowns. Now, some things you need to avoid: behaving recklessly, assuming any understanding on another's part during this time, and hiding under a rock during this time. And the reason why I'm going to say hiding under a rock during this time is a lot of people have like this negative connotation against Mercury retrograde. With life, you have to learn how to deal and be flexible, like it just said, and you have to learn
Yeah.
how to figure out that shit. And you can't hide under a rock once this season is here. So metro retrograde, you can renew, reassess, realign, reflect, and reinvigorate. And these are some things that you really need to be paying attention to because these moments are actually occurring so that we can be on our toes. It's strength for us once we pass through retrograde in a successful way. And we can't be entering into retrograde with fear because
Uh-huh.
fear does not exist if we really just pay attention to it. If we just learn how these things are operating, if we learn what the
Yeah.
planets are actually doing, we can prepare ourselves in a way so that we can move in an effective way. And on the screen right now, you're seeing a couple of crystals that you should be carrying with you in the event during during retrograde. And these crystals are basically like forms of protection from these
Mm-hmm.
spirits and these different distractions that are out here in the atmosphere that's going to keep you away from staying focused on your goals and all of those type of things of that nature. You have to stay focused and you have to stay knowledgeable about these things. It's nothing that you really can play with because Mercury retrograde will take your ass out of here. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm just saying that shit will like fuck you up
Seriously.
mentally. And you got to just pay attention to the signs and make sure that you guys are staying as protected as you can. And that's today's Saging with Sika moment. People.
That was beautiful because I thought Mercury in retrograde was only when black women told you, but you just told me, so now I know. Because I don't ever know
Yes.
until a black woman tells me. I never know.
I swear to God, man, like, yo, so my partner, right, Umar, she always and her friends, like, they'll be over and they'll be like, yeah, we in Mercury retrograde. That's why Mercury retrograde. That's why everything like this. I'm like, I don't know if I really see it, but I think I understand. Like, it could be anything like that's just off. They be like, that's that Mercury retrograde right there. I'd be like,
Yeah,
and look, the other day I even said it. I was like, something was off. I was like, that's that Mercury retrograde right there.
you
Like, no,
got
I
to,
swear to
bro.
God, because I'm like, I just feel like I gotta find some way to explain the goofy shit that be going on sometimes. I'd be like, yo, it just can't be just because it happened just to happen, right?
I
But
That's
sometimes feel like it,
facts.
but
but
It's
I
Mercury
real
isn't
though.
that.
It's really, really real. Like a lot of people like to speak against astrology and the way that the moons are moving, the way that the planets are moving, but this shit is science.
It's
And there's
ancient too.
yes, like we cannot escape this shit. And if people would understand, if you learn a little bit more about it, it'll be easier for you to move on through your day to day. There's plenty of
Wait,
fuck shit that happens every day in my everyday life. I will look at that shit and I will burst out laughing because I know what the fuck it is. And I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered at all. It's not about to distract me. I know what it is because I'm aware. I know what it is because I'm making sure that I'm reading everything that I need to. And I know that I'm going to have my crystals on me and I'm listening to my ancestors. You got all of those things, man. Fuck shit can happen right now while we are online. And I'm going to be like, whatever.
yeah,
It's all good because, I
somebody.
mean, it was written that way anyways. Everything that's happening has already been written. The Most High has already seen this shit. We are the ones that are experiencing it
Preach.
in now time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, chill, man. Just chill.
I need what you smoking. What you smoking? I need that.
The goodest of the good. Hey, and since
God
since
salad.
you're in Atlanta and I'm in Atlanta, hey, all I gotta do is just pull up on you.
Wait, you here now? Right
Yeah,
now?
I'm in Marietta.
Oh well, shoot. I ain't got nothing to do next couple days. I guess I'll see y'all. Just
I
playing.
guess I'll see you soon.
I'm dead serious though. I do. I'm
Hey, we can
here.
do that. No problem.
But dang, retrograde. I do. I definitely got a quartz. I definitely got a quartz stone though.
That's
It's
good,
real
man.
big.
Because I
Like
mean,
it's real,
a
real
lot of
big.
people like sometimes don't get it twisted. Just because you don't have all of those crystals doesn't mean that you're not protected either. Like there's still gonna be power in whichever crystals you may or may not have, and it's all good
Yeah,
for sure.
that's true.
It's
I'm
about
itching
that
pretty much.
time now. We got our
Oh
special
man.
guest in the house. So happy to have DFurg here for sure. And of course, in classic fashion with BlackWithNoChaser, we're going to start this interview off with some quick icebreaker questions. So I hope you're ready for these questions. Here we
I'm
go.
ready.
Question number one. Question number one. Let's listen to a song that you know all the lyrics to.
Okay, so I don't know the lyrics, but I know the first part. It's on the radio. Y'all ever heard the song called Throat Baby?
wait,
What?
what?
It's a song called Go Baby on the radio, but it's Throat Baby in real life.
Oh, you talking about Go
Throat baby.
Baby?
Yeah, no, it's called Throat Baby. That's the actual
You
name of the song.
lying?
I never,
You
I
lying?
never.
So let me give you the first couple bars. Sexy little bitch, sexy little hoe. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. Let a young nigga come play in your throat, de-stroke your throat till I make you choke. Throat baby. That's the song. As soon as it starts, and this is on the radio. This is
That
on the radio.
that's the definition of Mercury retrograde. That has literally like
Yo,
people
This is
we
on the
scaling
radio.
back, dog.
yo.
This,
If you
I'm
want
not
to
making
know,
See,
this up.
dog,
I'm not
if
making
you
this
want
up.
to know
okay.
Mercury
So
retrograde,
right now,
like,
at this very
that's it.
moment,
In the
I'm gonna
lyrics.
admit to you, I do not be paying attention to these songs. I only pay attention to my people's music. Real talk. So,
Man,
oh my, you just fucked me up. You just.
I'm it's little white kids at house be like, Alexa, play Throat Baby. And they in there jamming, talking about sex a little bit, sex a little hoe. Samantha making peanut butter and jelly. That's just wild. That's an actual
Oh shit. He done went sideways on us.
It didn't bro, the internet's hating, yo. Why DFurg trying to get his internet rebooted though? Yo, Seek, have you really even I've never heard about a song that called Go Baby Throat Baby. I ain't gonna lie to you. I almost wanna like
See, I have
I
every time, like since I I'm always listening to 94.5 here. So that's the station that Young Jock is on. Like I'm a huge fan of Young
It
Jock.
be so it
And
be
they
on
play
there
that
like
every day. Like I can get in the car at the top of every hour. That song is playing. Go
so throat
baby in.
baby.
But it's
Go
throat
baby.
baby. Like, listen, I'm driving on the interstate talking about go baby. I'm trying to
And
da
you are
da
and
da
they
da
said
da.
and they said throat baby. Like, yo, I've
They
never heard that song
saying
in my life
throat
though.
baby. Oh my god! Like
But
he
not Furry gonna come. He gonna come back, man. He gonna he sideways. He said, "Damn you, why this nigga is sideways and troll? Damn you, 2020." No, no. So we one thing
oh
we didn't
shit.
talk about. One thing we didn't talk about what was happening out there in San Francisco, right?
Oh yeah.
With Cook, right? So I think his name is it Stephen Cook, brother
Well,
that's
to
on
be
the.
honest, you were schooling me on this because I did want us to discuss this, but hey, DFurg just DM me on Instagram talking about Mercury in retrograde.
I know Mercury, dog. Everything is crazy. But I would say like on the Stephen Cook deal, right? So people should know that Stephen Cook, who's on the board of education out there in San Francisco County or wherever that county is out there. And so part of that is people saying it passed unanimously resolution number 208-2582. Now, I really want to get to the point about what is a resolution. Resolution is not law. It's not policy. It's not a mandate, which means that they don't have to. He said we made history tonight mandating Black studies. So I guess I, I don't know the exact language of it, but I
School
don't
us,
want people
bro.
confused. I don't want people confuse a mandating and a resolution, right? Mandate means that actually policy, like you got to do that thing, right?
Okay.
Uh, but a resolution is a body of people came together, right, and unanimously decided that Black studies should be something that should be taught from K through 12, right? And just like we study English and other social studies and sciences and maths and stuff like that. And so this I think is the first step. I think there's still school systems or schools will have the option to then say if we're gonna on how we're gonna teach Black studies, right? I mean that the only thing that I would like to maybe get fleshed out a bit more is how Black studies are gonna be taught. And so because like you may have a school on a certain part of San Francisco or still the Bay Area that be teaching it this way, and then somebody else say it could be better this way. I think maybe some uniform or like some starting point on like how we begin the origins of what Black history, Black studies is going to look like. And getting also, but then at the same time, giving our educators flexibility within that system to be able to get creative to be that way, so that their students that they know can hold on to that information. But I don't know, y'all. The resolution doesn't mean law, though. Just so people know that resolution does
I
not
mean,
mean law.
I find that interesting though. This makes me think of two different things. The first thing it makes me think of is during my freshman year at Tougaloo College, I was in African American Studies under Dr. Woods. I know people that are watching right now from Tougaloo know exactly who I'm talking about. And I remember the first class that I attended is the reason why I even like continue going to this professor's class, because you know how freshman year is. Like you go in the first class and you decide, okay, is this a class I'm gonna fuck off in, or is this a class I'm gonna continue going to? So this nigga caught my attention because he was pissed. He was pissed. He came to class, whatever the agenda was, he didn't give a fuck what the agenda was about. He was just pissed about a meeting that he had just left out of because he was trying to figure out how to make sure that African American studies was more prevalent within majority of the curriculums outside of HBCUs, and something didn't happen, and so he was pissed. He talked our asses off for like more than an hour. And what was so intriguing about it is we all sat there. You know what I'm saying? Like freshmen, we sat there. We were interested in him venting about it. And
Yeah,
this was 2006. So I already saw like the dynamic and the importance of this actual subject being available for all curriculums, because let's be real, as
yeah, no,
far
no.
as everything that we're receiving, it's just been kind of force fed and not necessarily true knowledge. So I think that this in itself is an interesting topic because of that, because like it's Black studies is not being studied the way that it needs to be.
For sure. And I also want to say that, like, to the, Stephen Cook and being on the board of education out there, it's not that what was done is not monumental. I think it's a couple of steps in the right direction. But I think that at the same time, though, like I just want to make it clear that resolutions are not laws; they're not policy. And so you can form some kind of mandate, but people won't be compelled to do a particular thing, right? They won't be compelled to put together a curriculum that contemplates Black studies through and through, and that's where they, as it pertains to English, mathematics, social sciences, so on and so forth. Civics, civics, things like that. And so
Yeah.
we got some more to go, but obviously a
So
big,
here's
big,
my
big step.
second point.
Yeah.
My second thought that comes from it is coming from I forget what city it is in Texas, but there is a city in Texas that has in the high school books that slavery was an internship, and it brings me up to that thought as well, because there are certain schools, because I know that they aren't the only ones. There are certain
They,
schools that do have textbooks that's saying that shit, that slavery was an internship.
Well, so okay, so now you bring up a good point, right? So there was a point right after the Emancipation Proclamation, right? Which will when we talk about when it was actually signed versus when it was put into play, we know it as Juneteenth, but it was really 1963 or sometime before when it was actually like signed, right? But it didn't get down to the South until a year and a half, almost 18 months later. All right, putting that aside for a second though, right after that, laws states like Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, all the kind of southern states that wanted to maintain slavery, they begin to pass laws to usurp the Proclamation, right? So what they did was is pass apprenticeship laws that looked and felt like slavery, but didn't actually say slavery, right? They didn't say so. Some states may have used the word internship, or down the line they may have coined it as an internship, but during the time they were called apprenticeships, right? And then you actually owed, or you were still owned, and they had papers on you, and that was a way to kind of get around upholding slave or getting around the breaking the law of the new law of the land, in terms of the consent decree that southern states or Confederacy states or rebel states, I should say, had at the time. So when they put their hand on the Bible and raise their right hand, like, hey, I'm gonna make sure I pledge allegiance to the Union, right? Because it was called the Union still. It wasn't even called the United States. It was called the Union. So they pledged allegiance to
That's
the
right.
Union, that the Union, the laws that were made by Ben Franklin. But what happened was that when Jackson was then elected, Jackson then, I believe it was Jackson or Johnson, I believe, that then allowed that to happen under his watch, right? And so that's kind of what happened between the time of political power reconstruction, or political reconstruction, or Black reconstruction for Black folk, and then in that time. So then in that time frame, though, I believe the 15th Amendment was then passed and put that apprentice bullshit to rest as well. And then so goes Black reconstruction in terms of economic power in this country. And then you see the Tulsa spring up, the Rosewoods, things of that nature. And so that's kind of how it all then played out. And so when you look at Texas, and the reason why Texas is so fucked up is this thing called GTT. And it's the last thing I'm gonna say. I think it's
What
important to
is
make note of.
GTT? Tell me about GTT.
GTT. GTT is a thing that they called so at when slavery was coming to an end, not when slavery was ended, but coming to an end, right? You had a lot of people still taking out quote unquote loans on heads. Heads was what the white folks called the enslaved people, our people, right? They call them heads. And so they said that, hey, I need 5 heads to stay afloat. Well, the bankruptcy system actually was created for white people to escape their debt, and not just any white folk, rich white folk, property owner white folk, white men, and people that enslaved our people, right? Enslavers. Those are the people that benefited from bankruptcy laws. So when you think about a Trump nowadays, another rich white man that used bankruptcy to kind of get around paying back his debts, paying back his taxes, these paradigms, right, or these laws were put into play for people to escape debt, while poor folk, economic insecure folk, Black folk, brown folk, right, even poor white folk were now taking on the brunt of the economic harm that was really casted
Taking the
upon them by rich
damn
folk.
blame.
So GTT actually means gone to Texas. Gone to Texas was because before Texas became part of the Union, That's why it's called the Lone Star State. Obviously, they had their own laws, and they can escape the laws of the Union, right? The bankruptcy law, and then go to Texas and say that I don't have to pay y'all back anything. That's why slavery ramped up in Texas after around the late 60s and like mid or right before the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, because they were not yet in the Union, right? And so GTT means gone to Texas, because that's what all the white slave owners, right, or enslavers, I should say, were going at the particular time to escape their debt. And that's what GTT is. And that's why Texas is so fucked up. And that's why they say dumb shit like internships and apprenticeships.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Like I was here the whole time listening. My bad. Where's Mercury and Retro Day, y'all? See what I mean? Hey, man,
Okay,
I had a
okay.
shortage in my phone and I had no idea, and it was plugged up and it just cut off. Like, oh, didn't know
Oh
that was.
shit. It's all
So,
good, brother, but you made it back, because that means that
I'm
you
here.
wanted to be here. So hey, you ready? Next question. What's your favorite
Okay.
black movie?
Favorite black movie? Life.
Now, what's so
Bruh,
funny about that? You're not the first guest to say
I
that.
love
That's
It's
damn life,
interesting.
dog. I love
it's
life.
so good.
I love some life. It's so good, dog. It's like I don't really know what's about life, why it's so good, but damn movie is so damn good, man.
Like,
We watched every road trip at FAMU, dog. I literally was like part of our ritual. I don't know why it became part of our ritual, but every baseball trip, coach would be like, "What y'all want to watch?" And somebody on the team be like, "Coach, you got that
like
life, coach? You got that life, coach?" And
you
motherfucker,
got to,
that
man.
life, dog. Every road trip, damn
It's
near.
hilarious. You will never get a better written script with that many people in it. Oh my God.
The internet's done got him again, yo. This shit is hilarious.
Dog,
Poor
so so
DFurg.
so I don't know what's going to defer, but I want to get back because I think that like people need to understand like where we're at in this country, because
Yeah, yeah.
there are so many things that happen on a policy level that harken back to the worst part of the United States, right? And that's why when
Right.
people say, when you see those pictures of like the tip of racism that you see that's visible at the top of the iceberg, but everything underneath is like this huge glacier of just systemic oppression and just policies that literally have run rampant in this country for far too long. And so when people like uh um Rep Maxine Waters then now become the chairperson or the chairwoman of the Financial Services Committee, and she's trying to reform credit and the way our financial systems introduces itself or engages with people, generally speaking, especially black folks and brown folks, economically insecure folks, right? Poor white folks, whoever, right? We want to make sure it's equitable, because at the end of the day, there's more safeguards and ways in which people that are rich, that understand the system, that can get out of it, than it is that folks that don't understand it. We're trying to provide more equitable access to those particular systems that don't exist, or reform those systems or transform those systems, I should say, to where that people that are rich, powerful, and have all the actual access no longer can use those same systems to then what? So that people that are on the bottom can bear the brunt of the harm. You know what I mean? And so that's why I always say, like, why do we
Yes.
continually bail out these businesses? Why do we do that in a particular way when we already know, right, that these people literally, dog, that's why people in power want to put their people in power, because that's why it's so
It
important to
makes, because
vote. People always be like,
they have to keep the power. Not only is it important to vote, but you just making that statement. I really want to say you verbatimly just read a sentence out of the ISIS paper by Dr. Francis Chris Weldon. Like that for a
really?
fact is yes. That for a fact. I want to say this is probably up in chapter 5. I'm, I'm not going to say exactly what the name of the chapter is, but chapter 5 in the ISIS papers, Dr. Chris Weldon is speaking on this exactly about their willingness and like everything in their power to make sure that all of them that have the power, making sure that they're passing it on to their kin that's going to have the power, regardless of if they have that type of experience, regardless of if they're qualified, regardless of if their intentions are pure or not. And that's something that us as a race has to stay really knowledgeable about, because that is definitely a consistent game plan of theirs to make sure that they maintain power from all angles, because that in other ways, like it can't, it will make sure that we stay trapped in order to not make in order to not take the power away from them.
Yep. And then I know Al, I would hate to like lead this conversation without thinking about this dude Mattingly or Hattingly, whatever the hell his name is from he was on the morning show with Michael Strahan. It was a 10-minute conversation that he had. I'm pretty sure the interview was much longer than that. They cut it off to kind of go back to the morning show. But if you want to watch it, I think it's ABC, Good Morning America, whatever the hell it is, right? With Strahan. And like dude basically made himself a victim, right? Made himself a victim. And then almost said that Brianna in so many ways was really, she had it coming to her. And the weird part about this entire interview is while he was saying that he want the Mrs. Palmer to feel this and feel that, right? And find it in her heart for some comfort or to feel good or whatever it is, some peace. He never apologized. He never apologized one time for saying, look, man, I was doing my job or whatever the case may be. I just apologized, right? And then, but he really stepped around. He didn't want to take any fault for anything that happened, regardless. And he like the whole damn interview was just crazy. Like I don't know. It's hard to really know what the truth is. And
It's
then
really
just
something to. It's something to
I don't
be
know,
able
man.
to conduct a whole interview and not say those two words, like my apologies. Like
You can't.
that's extremely intentional. Like
Oh yeah,
that
for sure.
word, he went into that interview saying, I'm not gonna say that because I'm not. Like
Well,
that's it don't even
apolo-
matter what he said in that interview. Everything that he didn't say says that he just doesn't give a fuck and he's not sorry. That's
and
crazy.
people need to know that like it's a reason why. So I just want y'all to know on civil lawsuits, right? The reason why he didn't apologize, and he's been probably instructed by an attorney that represents him
Exactly.
to
I
not
knew
actually
it.
say sorry or I apologize. And this is really a reason for that is because in civil cases, right? What happens is that if there's an admission of liability, I mean, if I say I'm sorry, it's not like saying, hey, are you okay? I hope you do well, well wishes, things like that. But once there's that admission and you
I
say I'm
choose
sorry,
me.
that means that it's in some regard, that means that you're taking ownership of what happened in your place of business, what happened in terms of your actions. And so when he says that, he doesn't want to be found or even be looked like liable on a civil level, not even just on a criminal level, right? But on a civil level, he doesn't want to see that he's found like in some sort of like liable, he's in a scope of liability for his actions. And so that's why he really didn't say it. And it's also not just because
I'm
he's like
glad you explained that. I'm
because
glad you
that's
explained
the
that.
legal side, and also just a piece of shit too,
But
though. That's
not
also
only
part
is
of it.
that the legal side, yes, he's a piece of shit, but not only the legal side, but me being a person of energy, like I understand like people that are watching this that don't have that type of lawful knowledge of this are like, fucking themselves up in the brain because they're just not understanding. How can you not say I'm sorry? That's why. I'm glad that you explained that because this is another tactic of certain attacks on the Black community. Yeah, it's lawful, it's political, but at the end of the day, like if we're knowledgeable of these things, because certain of us are not knowledgeable of, yes, that's an admission to say those words. And knowing these type of things helps us understand and continue to move on without a certain level of frustration, without a certain level of anger, because we know what the fuck the game is about.
Yep.
You just gave us a piece of the equation that we
And
definitely needed.
that's what it's all about, man. That's why you don't hear people saying sorry or we apologize. Like you rarely people say that unless they truly are sorry. But if they're within the scope of liability for a particular claim, then there's not going to be any admission of liability or sorry or whatever, compassion. It could be compassion, but there ain't no I'm sorry or I apologize, because those words or those phrases, to some degree, especially as people look at it, is an
It's
admission
trouble.
of your acts or lack thereof, right? That caused those particular damages, right? And so that's why people don't say that. But yeah, y'all, it's unfortunate. But and I don't think even if he could say it, I don't think he would have said it anyway. So
Oh no,
that's
I don't
also
think
part
so
of
at
it too,
all.
though. Yeah,
That's
he's not
definitely
sorry. He don't give a damn. He's like, I don't
no.
care. And then he tried to demonize. and do the whole like for
Deflection.
George Floyd. No, George Floyd, he was like, yeah, well, George Floyd wasn't a model citizen anyway. Said, look, dog, it's not really on you to judge whether or not somebody's a
Right. Who
model
are you to
citizen.
judge? You're a murderer. So how can you
And
even feel like you're in a position to place a judgment on anything?
and that's why we have court systems though. I think people don't understand about why black people, it's not that black people are saying, yo, bro, like we don't want to be prosecuted. I mean, granted, like there's some bullshit prosecutions happening right now, right? But and people being locked up for things that they shouldn't be locked up for. But the point being made is that we have a system, right? There's a court system. We have jurors, we have a judge, there's prosecution, there's defense attorneys, right? And in this justice system, and there's private investigators, there's officers, and they all have their roles and jobs,
School
right? And
us,
what that
bro.
looks like.
School us.
And so the thing is, though, is like all we want to do is have a day in court, right? We can't have a day in court and defend ourselves if every time we try to defend ourselves, we can't because we 6 feet under. And so that's what
Exactly.
it's about, right? George Floyd can't
Exactly.
tell his story. And so we want to be able to tell these stories, but we can't tell these stories if our folk are dead, right? If they're being strangled and maimed and killed and murdered in the darkness of the night and stuff like that, like Breonna Taylor. And so, like, look, dog, like that's what this is about. It's about equitable justice, equal justice under the law. And so, like, if folks can't understand that particular piece about it and see that black folks are disproportionately affected by the criminal justice system, over criminalized, over police, and over incarcerated. Dog, like these things are just like facts, and that's why people like are tired of debating about what is this and what is that, what is fact and what is not. Yo, there are people tired of debating, and our humanity is not up for debate, right? And that's what I think this is what it's all about.
It's
And they want to
not.
debate,
You
no
said the key
debate,
word
yo,
right there. It's not up for debate at all. Just
it's
like my
not for debate.
blackness. My blackness is not up for debate. Whether you are not okay with my level of blackness, it's not up for debate. We're not going to discuss it. I'm not going to explain shit to you. It is what it is. It's unapologetic.
Period.
And therefore, there is no type of discussion that is even available for this platform for any type of discussion. You got to get what the fuck you're going to get when it comes down to our blackness. And with that being said, if you want to get a full scholarship to them hands university, hey, you can get them hands all day long. Just go over to our shop at blackwithnochaser.shopify.com and you can get your them hands merch available. And we have plenty of other merch
Civil
available for you.
rights,
So
you get
go over
that
there,
civil right.
civil rights left and right and left. You can get those as well. And anything else Black with No Chaser. You know, we have our phrase think black, live black unapologetically, and we have that available for you as well. So if you are not following all of our social media pages, make sure that you are doing that. We are on Instagram as well as Facebook, as you know, and you can follow us on Twitter at Black No Chaser. You see everything down at the bottom, so just make sure that you guys are following everything. And if you haven't shared this broadcast, make sure you do that too. We appreciate you guys tuning in with us today for episode 11 with DFurg. We are glad that he got to kick it with us for the first half of the show. I guess the
I
universe knew
know.
that he needed to come in at the beginning end because the end tip just wasn't working in his favor, that damn Mercury retrograde. But still, we still enjoyed everything that he was able to participate in the conversation, and we enjoy you guys participating in the conversation as well. And in classic fashion, Real, I'm gonna let you roll us out, bro.
Yo, look, this is the Black Lunch Break, man, with your boy Rillo and Seeker right here, co-host of the Black Lunch Break. This is season 2, episode 11, like you just said. But look, y'all, make sure you'll lock in next week, Tuesday and Thursday. We got more special guests probably coming from the Biden campaign. Y'all stay locked in. There'll be IG takeovers and all the good stuff like that. So y'all get locked in. And we got some real other special info coming out, but we can't tell you right now because some things aren't really solidified. So we'll keep y'all posted on that. But look, y'all, man, this is Black with No Chaser, where we think black
We live black unapologetically.
unapologetically. You
We
already
out,
know.
y'all.